vacuuming, I think, right now. You know what else is happening actually tonight? I just thought about it.
What's that?
The Leafs are playing.
Yes, Game 7.
The Raptors are playing.
It's Toronto Sports Day today.
TFC.
I know.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Dad's Review Beer. Today I have a guest, other than my kids. So this is kind of exciting. This is Tony. Tony.
Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not the most hoppy beer lover, you've gotten me recently into some crafts, so I'm exploring the craft world, really.
You have a kid, so you're a dad.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's kind of fitting. My kid is now hitting you.
That's all right.
So that's interesting. But yeah, we're going to try some beer today. Some from Amsterdam. We have the Amsterdam Big Wheel and the Amsterdam 3-Speed. So one's a lager and one it says Deluxe Amber. My guess is it's Amber Ale.
Sounds fancy.
And yeah, so, Tony's, what have you been drinking up until this point?
I'm a big Canadian, Coors Light.
Pretty standard stuff.
Stella is real fancy. Heineken, Dr. Dre, what's up?
There you go.
So
So some of that stuff is pretty standard among beer drinkers. Not necessarily the craft beer type of people. But then I mentioned Amsterdam, what did I mention? I mentioned something else.
You mentioned
and you found
else.
this.
Yeah, I was out and I liked it. I'm a huge cyclist, so I saw the bikes and I was like, oh, I have to give that a try. So
we picked up the ones that had bikes on the actual labels themselves and ended up liking one of them. So that was exciting for me. So we've been talking back and forth, and I decided, hey, come on the show. Do you remember what the first beer you ever had was?
It was we always had Canadian in Coors Light, so I like around the house when I was younger. It was probably a Canadian, and probably had a sip of my dad's, and then that grows and grows and grows, and you have your own one day.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. No, that is a very familiar story to myself. I've heard a rumor that so you're a big fitness buff.
That's right.
So you like to work out.
I like to work out.
You like to meal prep and do that sort of stuff. My dad told me when I was playing sports that having a beer after working out is something that is good for you. Is there any truth in
I may have to squash that
Polish madness?
I may have to squash that myth. Alcohol in any sense is unfortunately not the best thing for you. Intra, post, pre-workout. But, there's nothing wrong with some good carbs, I guess. So.
Right. What do you prefer? Do you prefer beer? Do you prefer wine? Do you prefer spirits?
I drink a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I really I have my standard beers like we were talking about, but I'm huge into wine. I have at any given time 100 bottles in the cellar. So I do enjoy my whites and my reds, but yeah, I'm pretty
100 bottles in the cellar.
Pretty passive.
That's pretty wicked. I don't have any. I mean, you can age beer too. So I want to start growing a cellar myself, but right now I have 0. I think maybe we get into it.
I'll let you do the honors since you're the professional. I don't want to miss pour.
Term professional lightly. So right now we're gonna start with the lighter beer, the 3-Speed. It's 4.2% alcohol by volume. The 3-Speed has obviously the big number 3 speed, and then the bike on it and lager. It's actually really clean. Yeah, I mean there's not much to it. It's just doesn't even list the malts. I think it's just a single hop.
Secret stuff, man. How do you think you won all those awards?
So we're gonna kind of share this guy here.
You get your cooties.
Make sure we get a little bit each here.
Nice.
So it's pouring out pretty clear. Pretty much.
Yeah, looks like stuff I drink.
Looks like beer. Hey, how's it going, Olivia? So the head kind of dissipates pretty quickly. You can tell it's carbonated, it's bubbling up pretty good there. If you kind of give it a smell, it's got I think that's like the malt smell to it. It does smell kind of funky. That's the thing about lagers is there's like a funk to it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I was going to say like a homeless guy's armpit.
Yeah. So I mean...
Like it's like musky.
That's the thing about lagers is the colder they are, the better they are because you can't really taste them. And so... I mean, heck, let's... Cheers.
Cheers.
Give her a go. Tastes like a pretty standard lager. I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't say it's, amazing. The thing about lagers is they're kind of crisp, refreshing, but I don't know. There's a thing about them that makes me not want to drink them all the time, even though after a couple of beers, I kind of default to them if I'm with the boys. So you just start cracking 2-4, and
it definitely reminds me of like a Canadian.
Yeah, so
like
so
it's with like not as sharp of a flavor profile.
That's the thing. Like it actually is. I mean better than what I normally drink. I guess the problem now is pricing. Unfortunately, if you buy craft beer, they can't produce as much as quickly, and therefore the price has to go up.
Yeah, exactly.
So you end up.
That's good though.
You end up buying it.
I would drink this over a Canadian.
If you had the choice, for sure.
It might be the bike on the label, but yeah, it's good. What flavor should I be tasting in this?
I don't even know.
Really?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty standard issue lager?
Yeah, lagers are... Actually, I just watched a podcast where they did a blind taste test, and they actually thought this was Coors Banquet. So some people thought it was...
No way.
Like they thought Macro Brewery for sure. It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah, now that you mentioned the Banquet, I can get a little bit of Banquet. I do like my Banquet as well.
Yeah, and then Adam at work said, you know what I had last night? Coors Banquet, and that is good. Solid. And I was like, man, you like what you like, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I do like a Banquet.
Yeah, and I enjoyed a Coors Banquet too, but there's just something about an ale that I find the flavors are better. Like there's a lot of times you get more citrusy flavors and like more floral flavors, whereas this is just like beer.
Yeah, this is definitely beer.
Tasting beer.
Right.
So there it is.
Cool.
What do you think, Olivia? All right, so we got the big wheel here, 5% alcohol by volume. The branding follows suit. It's just the clean. It's got a gigantic
big wheel.
Big wheel on
it.
it.
Called a penny farthing.
I was wondering about that. I was gonna say it looks like a giant unicycle with a tail.
With a rudder.
Crafted out of the desire for a perfectly balanced amber beer, Big Wheel combines the boldness of a pale ale with the smoothness of an easy drinking lager. Interesting. I know I've had this at I think it was the Hamilton Food and Drink Festival at the booth, but Lord knows I don't remember what happened there. So
we've all been there.
Freshly rinsed glasses.
We're good. We got the right equipment. Oh, that's a lot. That's got a little bit more to it. Uh-oh.
Much darker. Still really see-through.
Carbonated.
The head stays a little bit longer, but
it's
still kind of dissipating.
It's got a bit more.
That smell too. So, kind of malty. But I mean, it does kind of smell. It smells like the lager, but it's not as. I would say it's not as funky.
It's got a lot more flavor than the 3-speed.
Yeah.
It's got like this to me is a lot more. It's good.
Yeah.
It's got a good a bit more of a hoppy taste. But it's not overwhelming. I find that a lot of craft beers can get kind of like a soapy taste to them.
Soapy, yeah. So hops can all have like the flavor can come from the yeast too, but a lot of times hoppier beers tend to be a lot more bitter too.
Yeah, this is not so bad.
The bitterness.
This is kind of like a nice.
Can be overwhelming.
This has a nicer flavor profile for sure.
Kind of like roasty, kind of almost like a caramel flavor to it. But I'm not even getting a lot of hoppiness compared to like a lot of the pale ales and the
I like this one.
IPAs.
I think this was a good introduction for me into something a bit more hoppy and a bit more crafty.
Well, it's the thing. It doesn't have to
definitely
be hoppy to be crafty too. You could look at porters. We could look at stouts.
That's fair.
We could look at like German style beers. So there's a whole new world out there, my man.
Well, get me in there. I like this one.
I definitely like that.
I like this one.
Pardon me?
I find this one more crisp than the 3-speed.
Look at this.
In a different way. Like the flavor profile is a little sharper. It's nice.
It is, yeah, for sure. One of those like call them crushable beers.
Oh,
Things
definitely.
you could have more than one of.
So this is definitely an easy drinker.
Have a patio season's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait.
I could have one of these by the barbecue.
All right. So, we've introduced Tony to craft beer. I think he's becoming a bit more of a fan.
I'm in.
Thumbs up. So if you like what we're doing, smash that thumbs up button.
2 big thumbs up.
Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Let me know what you think. Give me comments. I need comments. Comments. Let the kids know how they're doing. Tell me if you like the art. Let us know how's it going.
I like the art. Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, anytime. I really appreciate you
This
coming.
was a lot of fun. Oh, you have a nice sized backyard, eh?
Well, and I want to get some root beer and have the kids do a review.
Back up.
Right? Do you like root beer? Okay.
Maybe not.
You want water? Mommy was getting you a drink. You don't have to catch up to me.
You have to. Peer pressure.
I'm a big dude. I drink a lot of
Didn't want to
beers.
say anything, but